Welcome back, racers and not racers alike, whoever's watching the stream. I know some of the racers are in here, but we've got yet another loadout race for here today. A lot of really good racers, right? We got up in the top left, we've got Zvicky, who has won a loadout race, right? Came out of nowhere after getting in fourth in week 1. Just really blew people out of the competition in week 2. Did really good. Week 3 still put up a really good performance, and we'll see what happens today, right? I mean, Zvicky's got some tough competition beneath Zvicky, and just right behind Zvicky, not only on the screen here, but also on the leaderboard, we have Ken's in the kind of like a cobalt blue Rex color, maybe a little bit brighter than that. Dealing with some golems. Fun fact about Ken's, they've been in, I think, 3 races that I've done, or that I've reffed. There's always been Ken's. But now Ken's is finally free of me, and maybe they were expecting some better loadouts. Maybe she was expecting finally a breath of fresh air, getting out of the YouTube, getting into the Twitch zone, and it's Rex. It's Rex with Bramble Volley and Harvest, and the self-damage of 2 with, what is it called, Seed Barrage? Probably one of my least favorite loadouts for Rex. Someone who's also very familiar with really copium loadouts, Goji. Up in the 5th position. The fun fact about Goji, I think they are currently at like 25 overall deaths throughout the league, just throughout the first 3 weeks. And there's a reason. Almost every loadout race that Goji's been in, it's been really cope, it's been really tough. They haven't been necessarily, I don't want to say that they're not fun, but they've been pretty rough, right? To be in first place, to be so high in the leaderboard with that many deaths, that means that everyone else just did so much worse than Goji. Right, Goji's earned those loadout wins, so we'll see. I borderline want to call Goji the favorite just for dealing with these cope runs so well. But then you look below Goji, and you see RuddyCub, the 2nd seed overall, who's actually the current Rex world record owner. I used to be the owner of that world record, by the way, until a certain technique was discovered by Ruddy. Unfortunately, that technique is just, it's like hyper ramp cheese. It's cool cheese, right? Right. It's not that garbage Swiss cheese that tastes like absolutely nothing. It's really good cheese, but unfortunately, for Ruddy, doesn't have that tangling growth available, and that strategy is unfortunately also not allowed. But I noticed both Ruddy and Ken's have been using the self-damage abilities a lot. And with the self-damage abilities, right, able to go faster, already, you know, just completely forgetting everything about you know, safety and just holding on. Just, you see a Void Cradle, open a Void Cradle, boom, boom. Right? Very aggressive racers down at the bottom. But if they get hit once, right, they're just going to die. So that's kind of the strategy, the build, the setup they're going for. I'd be really scared right now if I was Ken's, opening that Tentabobble, having 2 watches. Really don't want to lose those watches. Want to be a little careful. Oh geez. Oh, Zvicky. I know Rex isn't fun to play, but you really don't want to lose that elixir. Loses the elixir, and immediately loses all health gained from that elixir. Meanwhile, Goji, I like their strategy the most. Goji with an ATG. I mean, oh. Goji waited until the TP boss, and I personally approve of that. Use all of your M2s and everything then. I mean, the odds that one Zvicky dies is pretty high, right? Use the shift on the ground. There's the death, right? There's just so many pests. Doesn't have AoE. Thankfully has invincibility. Does not die from the Vagrant. I believe Rex, if you do use your Neurotoxin on the Vagrant, it won't kill you. It's like level 1, level 2. That one was level 3, so might have still gotten a kill. had Vicky been at full health. Right, you gotta play this one really careful, really safe. We'll see what Kens can do here. Now at the TP, there's a lot of pests that spawn in immediately after the TP is hit. I'm about to see that for Ruddy. Oh, gee, you just really gotta worry for Kens. You lose those 2 watches, that's the one small advantage that you've got right now that you're just gonna lose. And some of the other racers like Goji, like Ruddy, right? After the TP is done, after all is over with, they can just print up watches and get that double damage. Right? And that's going to be something that Kens is without. Personally, I would just go all in on the M2s. Oh, but that exploding orb is super close. There is a mod that the racers have that prevents the orbs from crashing their game. They are allowed to use it. The only thing they cannot do with this mod makes it so that you can push pots around. We have that outlawed. People are not allowed to do that. Oh, Kens, you were at 1 Lemurian bite. I don't even know how Kens didn't lose the watches there. 1 Rex in 1 iteration, and 1 application of neurotoxin. Oh no, that is not a good shift. Ends up getting double hit by blind pests. It takes a death, loses 2 watches. Those sneaky a-holes who just are hiding at the top of the trunk. Oh, man. Goji gonna head out onto the next stage. It is Aphelion Sanctuary next. Has a watch, but only just 1. Maybe wanted to keep the movement speed. First, I mean, maybe the idea, right? Already at 25 deaths overall. Kind of wants some more, or maybe not. Doesn't want more, but it might be expecting more. Throughout this loadout, right? One of the worst Rex loadouts ever. If you die, you lose your watches. Don't want to lose your watches. Already found the same razor wire that Goji found as well. And Vicky didn't die more than the 1 time during the TP. Vicky, who also lost the power elixir, still just running around at stage 1. Only has $25. And not really a whole lot to show, right, for being there for so long. I mean, I guess the other 2 are still there, but it's only going to be able to get 1 more item. Sees a chest, it's going to take a chest. It's going to be like another 40 seconds just to go back. It's a war banner. Okay. Ken's trying to hit a chance trying a couple times. Also done with the TP. Ruddy, I don't even know how Ruddy survived. Guess just didn't get hit. Has 2 repulsion armor plates. Could be good. There's the watch printer. Do you go for the watches if you're Ruddy? No, you don't. The chance of you losing them are pretty high. At least in Ruddy's eyes. Maybe you want some other things. Maybe you want some armor-piercing rounds instead. Maybe some crit. 8 minutes, stage 1. And Ruddy's not happy with that. What's it, an IFG? Which I'm not allowed to say what that stands for. I'm pretty sure. But despite being quote-unquote super slow with that load at stage 1, not too far off from the other racers. Right, the only one who left earlier than any of the others really was Goji, who has 1 watch, has double opal. I just thought about it with the watch printer, by the way. It's probably not a good idea to go into watches, because if you lose them, and you find a good printer down the line, then you're going to be just down that much scrap, right? Down that many items. Goji finds a not energy drink. Finds a gasoline, finds a mocha. Ruddy's going full Australia right now. As the stream kind of is teleporting all around. Oh god. I mean, we're losing like 8 seconds at a time here. It's Vicky not doing too bad. Dealing with a couple blazing enemies. Okay, Cheese is thinking about calling timeout. Ruddy's PC's doing a little better. Goji gets like 5 ATGs to fly out. Holy. Were they using crowdfunder then? I don't think so. Just getting really good ATG luck there. And now has enough money for that that large chest. Every time Goji uses their M2, by the way, every time Ruddy uses their M2, I forget how many bullets come out of them with razor wire, but each one does, I believe, is it what, 200 something, 300% damage? It's really good damage value for AoE or Rex with razor wire. I think a lot of people underestimate how good of an item razor wire is early game. Right, it's good crowd control. It's good. Oh god, Ken's with another death. Was unable to deal with these rats. Unable to deal with these pets. Is about to die again. Uses the shift. Does get some health from that. I think a lot of people forget that the Bramble Volley does heal you. If you're almost dead, you can just use it on a bunch of enemies. You lose like 2 health anyway, and you get a lot back. And Ken's uses that. Gets a Gore Tome prior to the TP. That could be useful. Ken's... Oh no. Ken's had watches. Printed more. And lost more. It'll get an APR, but again, that's the risk that you run. Not only are you down 5 watches, but you're down 5 white items that could be other things down the line. We'll see what Goji can find on stage 3. Finds another watch printer. Okay, well. Here I am attempting to preach towards myself, right? Personally, I would have, if I was in this race, I would have printed 2 or 3 watches. Really good chance I would have lost them. Right, but there could be other printers, right? As we see, I'm looking at Spiky. What's that printer? Can't quite tell. Spiky's actually getting pretty low on health. Don't want to die again. Fireband, is that the item from TP? It is, as Ruddy kills off the Vagrant. Boom, there we go. Instant band proc with your M2. Instant band proc, 550% band proc with your shift. Oh geez, look out for Spiky. Spiky pulling out the crowdfunder, really doesn't want to die. Get some good damage off with that, but is out of money immediately. And crowdfunder is something you definitely do not want to use if you're in a race early on. You can maybe pull it out stage 4, stage 5 if you don't need to loot, but if you need to loot, every second that you're shooting that crowdfunder is a second that you are losing chests, losing items. Right, now Spiky, really, really not a good spot. Is accidentally shooting the crowdfunder every time he earns money. There's a vase stage 3. And a tri-shop with Prayon. Good equipment nonetheless. Gonna be a lot better than this crowdfunder that Zvicky finally turned off. Finally realized getting some brooch value. Good thing about brooch, can keep you alive a little bit longer if you're at 300 curse. Bad news is, every time you get hit, you gain 300 curse. Right? I think the most curse you can gain in one shot if you have full barrier up is like 70 something, like 76, 80, 79 curse, something like that. It's a lot. It's a lot if you're max HP gone every time. Man, Goji's just playing this fast. It is playing it well, too. Oh, okay, well, here comes the oil orbs. Look out for those. I really don't want to get hit by them. But Goji, only at 13 minutes. Right, it's not looking like one of those situations where it's like, oh no, this racer's going fast, but they're not looting and they're not getting enough stuff. Goji's got some good items. Right, what does Ruddy have that Goji doesn't? Well, Ruddy has a rose buckler. That's good. That's a good item. Has 2 repulsion armor plate, right? A lot more defensive. But doesn't have those 2 energy drinks. Doesn't have... I mean, has just about everything else that Ruddy has at this point. Right, is 2 repulsion armor plates and a rose buckler worth all that time? Like 3 minutes? Probably not. I guess it can kind of make for a speed run strat. If you were going super duper fast, you just get to the Mithrix and you throw yourself at the wisps and they just kind of kill themselves. Oh, Ken's is going back for the watches. Just takes one this time. What items does Vicky have? Is there any item that like either erase or miss? There's a crowbar. No, even Ruddy has that. I guess that's something Goji doesn't have. Because Goji opts for the eccentric base. Over the Prayon, right? Takes more value in the pillar skip, hoping that the build's going to continue to strengthen up as there's another gasoline, as there's a soldier's syringe. Some other good items, right? Had a Gore's Tome was stage 2, which is allowing for Goji to just hit a TP, kill everything, and loot up after. Gets a cautious slug. There you go, there's more attack speed. Now, do you go for watches now? I almost feel like maybe. Do it until you like lose one. I don't know. Doesn't want any. Sure. I feel like at that point you're feeling a little safe, right? You've got 2 opals, you got 2 energy drinks, 2 mochas. Just do it until you like lose something that's kind of good. I feel like just 1 or 2, right? You get to the Mithrix fight, you're doing 40% more damage. Just a couple, not a lot. I think it's a big difference when you're on stage 1 and you have 7 white items. As opposed to stage 2, you have Gore's Tome. You got like 20-some whites. That's a lot of white items. And now we're in Grove. Ken's finding the base, by the way. Really not looking good for Ken's for this loadout. Right, again, having lost 5 watches, printed a 6th. You see what happens when you mess up with watches. Right, put all the whites in one basket. And, I mean, I could probably count. Does Ken's have more items than I have fingers? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there's 12 items, so I do have more fingers, thankfully. But still not many, right? Could be at 17. A third of the items just missing. Here comes Ruddy, gonna do the Dune Striders. Really could take advantage with that double repulsion. You can just get right up close to him and spam your razor wire. Drove's a watch killer. Yeah, there's Larva. I feel like sometimes in loadout races, you get Grove and you just... I don't know, man. The terrain's rough. Larva on Sirens, I feel like Sirens is at least a little bit more flat. A little less situations where you just end up getting splash damaged. As Ken's takes another death, by the way. Oh, jeez. Down to just 11 items now. And there's a Shattering Justice. Was that a small red? Small chest red? Oh, overloading Larva almost takes out Goji. They're going to be fine, though. Shattering Justice. I mean, hold up here. There's a yellow printer. Is that a yellow printer? Might be one. And that branch there. Can't quite tell. But Shattering Justice is a debuff. Fruit is a debuff. Gas is a debuff, technically, at the moment. But Goji has 4 gasoline. Ooh, wow. 1 more debuff. And I have not been looking at Ken's screen for like 3 seconds. There's now 5 deaths. Wow. Just lost all those items and missed the really important ones, right? Had Ken's gotten maybe some repulsion armor plates, had Ken's maybe gotten the Rose Buckler or oh, please don't die of full damage. But you want to hold on here at 5 deaths. Same for Vicky, you just don't want to die. You gotta hang in there. Right, that wrap can do a lot. But neither of them. The biggest item of all that I would say they missed is the razor wire. If you have a razor wire and you just use your right click, the wisps instantly die. And if they die, then they proc your gasoline. There's a lot of gasoline to spill, and oh, poor Spicky. Barely alive, thanks to the repulsion armor plate, might be able to pull through. Thanks to the broach able to pull through, maybe. Dude Strider's almost dead, still has a lot to go in the TP charge. It's a broken watch, by the way, for Goji, who's just constantly declining in health. Takes a hit from a wisp, or a larva, not a wisp. Another larva hits. There's a left on Daisy, huge value right there. And another fire band is found on RuddyCub's screen, who also finds an armor-piercing round, now has 2. That's a huge advantage that Ruddy will have throughout the Mithrix fight, throughout Stage 4 TPs, throughout the Stage 5 TP, that Ruddy will have over Goji. But Goji is a whole stage ahead, just about. So we'll need to have a little bit of luck. Maybe Goji might end up dying here. That would be exactly what Ruddy would need. Right, Ruddy a little bit has been doing a lot of full looting, has been doing a lot of win streaking as of late. So has a lot, you know, might have a little bit of a consequence from that. In terms of playing it safer, which is good, but on the downside, not going as fast. Kens did siphon or stop the siphon from the Dune Striders that were constantly reducing deaths. Ends up getting the APR, ends up getting the fire band. I mean, could find the Shattering Justice, right? That's on stage 4. Could be a slight improvement. Not too much value actually for Rex. There's a Leeching Seed. Double Leecher for Zvicky. Zvicky has double crit. Same with Ken's. None of the racers on the right have double crit, so that's a little advantage that they will have. Ken's already getting harassed. Oh god. Almost shifted right into a gup. New equipment's found. There is an ocular HUD. Is that a recycler? So there's a recycler on stage 4. If someone found that recycler, personally, I almost want to say I would recycle the Shattering Justice on Rex. Neurotoxin already reduces an enemy's armor, I believe, by 40. In armor reduction, you kind of get less and less value from it over time. Alright, I'd rather try and reroll for something big if I had a recycler playing Rex, found a Shattering. Oh, but that's going to be big for... There's a Bloom. Do you take a Bloom? No, you get a Larva. It's an extra life. You end up with Void Band if you die, if you're Goji. What else do you... There's a ukulele printer? Oh. I really wish that Zvicky went more in. If Zvicky ended up finding the recycler and recycled the Bloom, could have had Polyloot and Plasma Shrimp. That would have been huge. I mean, we'll definitely have that anyways, potentially, right? If the recycler is found before the Void Cradles open up and picked up. But Polyplasma on Rex, I mean, it's still not the greatest with only a 0.5 proc coefficient. But with those 2 APR rounds, you end up with losing the crit, though. That would be a bummer. I think it would be would that be a good trade? I don't know. You also might find the Polyloot down the line anyways. And with 2 fire bands, yeah, I mean, it could be good. I think it'd be like an okay-ish trade-off. Goji has an ignition tank, by the way. And not only has the ignition tank, also has 4 gasoline. That's pretty good. I think if we see a death mark, we could see some huge value. With 4 gasoline. And oh no. Oh, poor Kens. Now it's 6 deaths. Getting harassed by more Gup. dealing with these Dune Striders. Well, how is that Gup so fast? How are those orbs so fast? What is going on Ken's screen? And what is going on Zvicky's screen? Who's already at 74 curse. Hopefully nothing falls from above. It's gonna rush and hit the TP while in danger. It'd be terrifying with so many enemies still on the map. But sometimes it's just what you gotta do when you're trying to race here in the hosting league. The hosting league being broadcasted live on twitch.tv/GameRage_0st. In case you were wondering, that's where you are right now. If you're out here on Twitch, if you're listening on YouTube, we do this every day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think I might be losing a little bit of my voice. Let me take a drink. There's another vase? You've got to be kidding me. Where? Oh, jeez. I'm too busy looking at Ken's right now. There's a war horn. That's huge. That's a real good pickup in my opinion, especially with a vase. Able to provide DPS with a non-DPS equipment. Oh my god, Zvicky. You are so close to dying. You are, yeah, gets killed. I don't know what by. Was that a larva or something? There was the Titan Fist, but that didn't finish off. Was it a jellyfish? No. Was it a larva? I have no idea. But Zvicky now at double death. Really not a good spot. When the other two people, the other end of the competition. Right. Deathless. We do know that Zvicky can win races. Zvicky's won a race before. Ken's has never DNF'd before. But now at 9 deaths, now with the worst Rex loadout, in my opinion. Yeah, that was a yellow printer. I think that's, what, Queengland? Oh no, Zvicky. After the TP boss is already killed, gets another death. You know what would just make this loadout so much easier and so much safer? Oh, that larva cheated. That larva just completely changed trajectory, and they'll do that because they're a-holes. Ken's now at 11 deaths. Again, just really hard to come back when you lose 6 white items at the start of a run. Right, took the risk, lost the risk. Wanted some difference maker to be able to keep up with the 2nd and 5th seeds with 2 veteran racers. Ken's, who's never won a loadout, right? Trying to find something. But just didn't find it in this Rex setup. It's just constantly in a death loop. It's got mending enemies around. It's trying to finish this TP off. And while this is happening, Goji! What is going on the right side of the screen? I see 300 curse on Goji. I see 424 curse on Ruddy. Ruddy very used to having 424 curse, having used the self-damage M2 during the speed runs. Right, I believe I used the other one trying to go for more of a Shattersplate build setup. Oh, Goji narrowly getting hit, almost. Goji does have the extra life, though. So not the end of the world if Goji dies. Goji a whole stage ahead. Right, Ruddy's still on stage 4, trying to play it safe, trying to just... Oh, there's a death for Goji. Oh, you know what sucks for Goji? Is no tougher times. Right, if you have a pluripotent larva, one of the first priority items you want to get your hands on is tougher times if you don't have any. You get one tougher time, boom, safer spaces. Had Goji found a ukulele on stage 3 like Zvicky had? Zvicky the only one to have found that printer, by the way. Then, boom, Holly loot. Everyone but Zvicky's found the Shattering Justice. Wow. Razor Wire MVP. I would personally say Razor Wire MVP. I think it's been the biggest difference maker throughout this run. The racers on the right, the 2 people who had the Razor Wire, just able to deal with these crowds so much easier. I think Razor Wire, again, is one of the most underrated items on Rex. And even on someone like Akron. And yeah, there we go. Zvicky finds the Shattering Justice. Oh, no. Oh, don't tell me you're blooming. Does Vicky bloom? Does Vicky bloom? You've got such a good build. You could find the Recycler. You could end up with the Polyelite. You could be the only one with the Polyelite, but you'd probably also have Void Crit. As Rex, nonetheless. I doubt it'll happen, though. If it does happen, it'll be a lot of time that Vicky will need to take. Razor Wire MVP item on Loader? Yes, I would agree. I would say Loader if you don't have Pylon. If you're stuck with Thunder Punch and a Gauntlet Loadout Race, then Razor Wire becomes Giga good. It's also Giga good on Loader if you're trying to do any percent Drizzle speedrun. Because you just use command with the Giga Razor Wire Hellfire build. And you just went and oh my god, Ruddy just died. Mending Parent teleports behind him. Says nothing personnel, Ruddy. Just gotta make sure you lose your bottle, lose a life. Just gotta fulfill a favor for for Goji. And that is death. Oh no. Ruddy trying to hold on to the second seed right now. You want to, if Eraser's in the top 2 positions at the end of the league, right? We're already approaching week. This is the start of week 4, right? So after this, Ruddy's only going to have week 5, week 6, only 3 more races after this to be able to try and hold on. Right, Goji looking pretty good. Already in 5th place. Might be able to snag one of those positions, potentially. We'll see. I mean, it's still anyone's game. Right, there was a ukulele that Goji actually found on stage 5. But having already consumed the pluripotent larva, it's just not going to have it. It's not going to have that Polyloop. Right? Had Goji not died during the TP fight, we'd be looking at a really, really good build right now. But instead is, well, in a pretty good spot. I still think Goji is the favorite to win, having not died ever. Is now going all in on watches on stage 5, right? Really lucky with the 3rd watch printer this run. Right? You find a watch printer on stage 5 or 6 or something like that with a vase, you're almost guaranteed, right? You're going to be able to get to the Mithrix fight, and you're going to be able to do phase 1. Now, the bad news is there's no rooting Mithrix. There's no keeping them at bay. So Vicky found ATG. Finally, let's go. Oh, I didn't realize. Everyone else got an ATG stage 1, except for Vicky. Or did Vicky lose the ATG for a ukulele? Is that what happened on the single print? Maybe. Because I think that, yeah, the stage 1 boss item was that. So really unlucky roll, actually, with the uke. Gotta feel bad. But it's really smart for what Goji did. Right, having already done the stage 5 TP, has a vase up, ready to go, can print 2 more watches, use the scrapper this time. I really like Goji's play. Get the watches. You're going to have phase 1 Mithrix, and oh my god, another Spiky Death. Now at 4. Really starting to get close towards DNF territory. About to die again. Look out. But Goji has 7 watches, is going to be on the moon first. Phase 1's essentially going to be free. Doesn't have really much of a way to stop or stall Mithrix. If any racer finds a feather, I think they're going to be in extreme position. If any racer finds safer spaces somehow, could be in a similar boat. But Goji, at the very least, right, is going to have a super fast Mithrix fight. I don't know if any of the other racers are going to go for those watches. It might lose them in phase 2, but... Oh, that's Vicky Death. It's Vicky Death. It's Vicky Death. Yep. It's Vicky died. I don't know if that's 1 or 2 souls control units almost dead, but when they're almost dead, you have to kill them. if you don't have movement speed, or you need to find a way out. Whether that be using your equipment. Vicky uses that now. Vicky at 5 deaths. Vicky dies like once more. Is really going to be looking towards a DNF. So cannot die. Has to treat this life like it's his last. As Goji begins the Mithrix fight, 7 watches in hand. None of them broken. Well, one of them broke. Used to have 8. It actually has 8 watches in hand. Anyways, Tenta and Vand. I don't know how I feel. At the very least, there's Neurotoxin, which is a slow debuff. The Vand could be good, right? If you find a way to apply that with the M2, that can keep Mithrix at bay for once every 20 seconds for a few seconds. Right, so Mithrix could be standing still about 25% of the time. Not terrible. You do gain some curse over time from that. Kind of like Goji's play of holding on to some health as Vicky takes a 6th death. As Ruddy finds a ukulele, doesn't have the larva though. Already at a death. Right. There's a Void Cradle. Not sure what this is going to be, but Ruddy goes for it and gets 600 curse now. There's Void Band. Now, do you want your 2 Fire Bands or do you want Void Band? You can have 3 of them. Oh, there's base number 2. LOL. Ken's now at more deaths than years till you can drink. No, equal to that. I'll take that back. Equal to the number of deaths as there are years until you are legally allowed to drink in the United States. Maybe more than enough to drink in other countries, though. Soon we'll be able to start renting cars at a cheap price for Kens. It's just aging in real time with these +5s. Ruddy freezes? I don't think crashes. Yep, just stream lag. It's gonna be fine. Does have a sentient meat hook, which might have helped a little bit during the stage 5 TP. Ruddy's now at 600 curse. Wow, Ruddy's at 600 curse. Goji, King of Copium, still has all 7 watches, has double Plasma Shrimp, is getting shot a bit, right? Doesn't have the double wrap, doesn't have the Rose Buckler that Ruddy has. If there's a moment that Goji is in trouble, it's now. You gotta find a way to stay safe, and there's the safety net. It comes in the form of a purple circle, a purple bubble that makes the wisps not move. Boom. Ignition tank is able to be used, is able to be applied. Goji sees the time to run away, at least a bit. Gotta be careful standing on the bridge. These golems can't shoot through walls. And Ken's, of all people, now on the moon. Now, there is a chance for Ken's. As they say, I don't know how to play this loadout. I gotta feel bad for her. Because to be fair, I didn't really know how to play Rex, let alone this loadout of Rex, until like, I don't know, 600 hours of playtime. It's Vicky at 10 deaths now. I almost want to say Ken's has a better chance over Vicky at this point, as Vicky just keeps racking up deaths, right? No razor wire, just really struggling dealing with these enemies. Because for Vicky, still on stage 5, right? Just ate another fireball. Goji's midway through phase 3. Right, so if Goji somehow super slows down and just can't deal damage and dies and loses those watches, well, Ken's will be on the Mithrix fight with some ATGs. We'll see. It's gonna be a slow fight, right? Only 1 APR round. No watches. But we'll have to finish before Goji finishes. As Goji takes a +5, uh-oh. You don't want a double death to happen. Double deaths are very common in this league and in the Gauntlet Racing mod. Ruddy printing up 7 watches as well. Ruddy will need Goji to die at least once. but maybe twice. As Goji takes a pizza +5. I am so sorry. Is it possible to cast her curse in the future? Maybe I can cast her bless in the future. Goji will never die again. Will be completely fine from using the vase leading up to Mithrix. Right, gets the Warhorn in because you cannot die at this point. Because it's literally impossible to die. Maybe I can cast her bless some other people. Lovely will now lose 10 deaths and will only have 12 +5s randomly. Nope, it's not working. Maybe I've used up all my power. Goji going for the last bit here. Finishes off Mithrix, but has to do phase 4. And you gotta look out, because there is Void Band that can kick in. You gotta be careful. There we go, you spamming abilities, right? You gotta get Mithrix dead. Goes for the slam. Does not get hit by the orbs. Double slam. Look out for the orbs. Looks out for the orbs. It's gonna be fine. Goji 401 swag coming in up at the top right. Ruddy, meanwhile, right, I mean, only has 5 minutes to do the whole fight. Is gonna have to find something really good. There's a power elixir soup. Is that an ICBM soup? That's a clover soup. You've got 5 greens, just go for it. Get more ATGs. Ooh, is this clover gonna be enough? I would like to point out it is possible for Goji to die. Right, only has 300 health. Doesn't have Safer Spaces tech active. Right, the exploit is not in play. The odds of a death here on the ship charge are not 0%. Personally, I'd put it at about 2%, if I'm being realistic. Hopefully doesn't happen for Goji, though. Right, Goji playing a little smart, trying to not get hit. Shifts up, though. It's up in the air. Ruddy begins the fight. Lovely is almost done with phase 1. Right, really started just kicking the high gear, even at 24 deaths. Almost more deaths than I am years old. LOL, that's a lot of deaths. Or a lot of years on my part. The Goji's gonna finish up. Does not die. And we'll wait for the time to pop up. It's looking really good for Goji. Timeout's called. As Spicky and Blubbly will have to not Spicky and Blubbly. Blubbly was last loadout. 52:38 is the time. Spicky and Kent's 52:38. Wish that was up there still, so I can put it in. We'll go ahead and put it in here. Time to come. First, 52:38. There it is, and we'll go ahead and bring it down to Ruddy's screen, as it is all up to Ruddy to be able to finish in first place. Not much time to do it, but does have a clover, and does have a vase. Okay, it's reaching out to 2 people. It does take some time. I have to use my phone when I tell people to concede, because I can't pull up my Discord. Maybe if I have my laptop, I could do it better. There we go. The 2 concedes happen. And it's go time. Ruddy gets the message. Ruddy has... I mean, at 48 minutes real time. You gotta be on the ship by 52 minutes, right? Because of the load time. Assuming you get good load time, right? You've only got 49, 50, 51. Yeah, like 3.5 minutes to do 3 phases. Could potentially get a phase 4 skip, but 7 watches. Clover, is that going to be able to do it? Oh, 12 watches. Oh, it could happen. I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. Oh, maybe if you get slammed like that. That's fine. Unfortunately, no Giga Red item, aside from the Clover. Right, it's not like it was a... Let's see. I mean, is there any other red other than Clover that would have been better in this setup? Could have maybe gotten... like Head Stomper? I don't even know if Head Stomper would be better. I mean, you could stomp every once in a while with the 12 launches and Crowbar, but... Clover, when you have 2 ATGs, when you've got 2 crit, when you've got Ukulele, and that's about it. Oh, double Sticky Bomb. Very easy. It's gonna be able to finish off phase 2. Actually, this is possible. Has 2 minutes to finish off phase 3. After this, assuming no more Chimera spawn, and assuming that Ruddy can actually land these shots. What are you doing, Ruddy? Just get down there. You gotta kill. More enemies are spawning in. You're not you're not shooting anything. You gotta go. Oh man, it's moments like this where you're just like, I really wish I had Tangling Growth right now. But Ruddy, I mean, you really have to land that if you're gonna have any chance at doing this. Oh, here comes Mithrix. Mithrix wants to fight. Mithrix down below 75%. Ruddy does have the current world record for Rex. Took it from me. And I am still very much not bitter. Oh, a huge fire ban from that ATG. Well done. 1 minute. Could actually do it. Could actually pull this off if there's a phase 4 skip, but doesn't because of the +5. There's a death, and that's going to do it for Ruddy. Now, actually on the clock for being able to... I mean, it's more than just about 1 bonus point at this point. It's double bonus. Well, let's see. Deny bonus is 5738. I mean... Right, assuming another death happens? Are you kidding me, Ruddy? The throw of the... Not the throw of the century by any means, but what could have easily been a double denial. Suddenly, I mean, 6238 was the time to do it. And phase 4 was not skipped. And there's 2 more deaths than what Goji has. But with such a throw as that, is not going to be able to deny the double bonus points. Almost dies again. I mean, as if it wasn't, oh, that's a sticky bomb, and that's another +5. Unlucky. As the luck of the Clover inverts on Ruddy, that's a 3rd death, 3 deaths, 4 total. 3 from the fight. 3 from the last 20 seconds of the fight. And now Goji is guaranteed to get double bonus points. Wow. What a play. Time the first, by the way, it's not 5238. That's... Time to deny double bonus. Will not happen. Or was it the 5238? I don't even know. All I know is that Goji gets double bonus points no matter what. I don't see Goji's current time on screen anymore. But we'll go ahead and pull out the standings here because everything is just about solidified. Ruddy cannot... Well, I mean, if Ruddy decides to concede the run. Technically, because it still end up with getting it 4th there, but we'll go ahead and give Goji 5. Oh, my mouse is about to die. I have to plug it in. Poor wireless mouse. Let me go ahead and get that in. While Ruddy charges ship. And there we go. GG to Ruddy for being able to come in second, but especially GG to Goji for clutching up that run. Well done. Let's get going. All right, so we got loadout number 2. I think a timeout happens. Oh, and Ruddy freezes. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but we're here on loadout number 2 for loader. As some of the racers are pausing, some of them are resuming. Ruddy doesn't know the difference between the air horn and the timeout sound. Is still figuring out. Okay, there we go. Having some technical difficulties. We're live here. Doing good. It's hard to get 4 people to stream on Discord at the same time. Streaming is really hard. People don't know when to start or stop. It's tough. And we've got Charged Gauntlet. I think this is full default loader. Ooh. We've got some good racers for it. Now, Ruddy's already done a loader loadout. So this is, not exactly Ruddy's favorite. Ruddy would rather prefer more things like that Rex, despite losing to Goji, who apparently was already warmed up. Right, had already did a loadout race earlier, like just to practice, did a little scrim, and had that exact same Rex loadout. Right, so was already feeling really good. And ended up playing really well, right? So a little bit luck on Goji's end there, but also skill. Right, I mean Goji didn't die 3 times on the last 27 seconds of the Mithrix fight. Goji already is going out, killing the boss, gets a squid polyp. Ruddy, meanwhile, saw a firework printer, hit a blue orb, interesting. Goes for Beetle Queen, or the boss, right? Has a volcanic egg. Ken's also in a very similar situation, just going for knuckle booms. That's usually what I do. I don't really try to go for fancy swings and stuff. It keeps me out of bounds longer. I don't like being out of bounds, right? Every time Goji is, or Ruddy or Goji or them or anybody, right, are going out of bounds to kill this Beetle Queen, it's time lost. Personally, I just like to be able to pull out the knuckle boom, just stay in bounds. Slap, 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 does plenty of damage. And yeah, you got 90 seconds to charge TP. Plenty of time for knuckle boom. Are side-ups still open? No, they're closed. Unless a whole racer decides to leave and all that, then maybe. Here we go. We got Squid Polyp as the boss item, right? As Goji's leaving, has a war horn, has a polyp. There's a daisy. Man, these greens are great. I love these. Maybe Ruddy gets some value from that bleed portal. Ruddy, though, not feeling too confident since I'm done. Not sure why. Probably nervous about Goji's performance. We know that Goji, again, is pretty well warmed up on loader. But despite that, I mean, I've listened a lot in the Risk of Resources races and stuff, and I said it once, last race that we had Goji, that they are prone to dying at times. Sometimes when you're trying to go fast, you get a little bit too caught up in that speedrunning mindset. You can end up taking a death. I think sometimes overconfidence takes over Goji with loader. We'll see if that happens today, as there is a good source of money for them. We see Ken's without a death, Vicky without a death. There's a stun grenade. There's a tougher times. Topaz Brooch. Man, really, like, nothing good on stage 1. Yeah, there goes Zvicky also finding the teddy bear. Zvicky hasn't even activated TP yet. At 4 minutes. Not ideal. With this loadout, unfortunately, like, a lot of people maybe like to look for healing items, for any sort of damage item before activating TP, might not be feeling the most confident. With this loadout, you have to start to learn, right, and have to really pick up the pace, and just realize, all right, I've got a pylon. If there's any enemies in the air, I can use the pylon to kill them. If there's any big enemies, I can just use my charge gauntlet, get multiple of them all at the same time. Right? It's really a loadout that kind of plays the game out itself for you. You just get some punches. It is super versatile. Has AoE built in, just from its piercing. It has crowd control with the pylon. It's got a lot going for it. And, uh-oh. Taking a crack. Okay, hides behind the little rock crack there for Goji. Fighting this Wandering Vagrant. Probably one of the more annoying bosses to fight for Loader. I think out of all the bosses that we see claim the most lives, it would probably be Vagrants. Right, you use a punch, and maybe not so much with this loadout. I know with Charge Gauntlet or Thunderslam, people like use the punch, and then they're prone out in the air and they don't have their backup mag because or not backup mag, their M2, because they just used it. And then they just kind of stand up in the air and get Vagrant blasted. But not with the charged one, you kind of just go through and you're fine. Ken's going all in with the white items, going into Opal printer that they found. Not the worst play. It does solve a lot of things, like if you get hit by pizza, if you're going fast, you can sometimes live. If you have Opal, Genesis loot blasts that we're about to see can survive those. Ken's typing a chat looking for the enemies. There are no enemies. You're playing Risk of Rain too. You think the director's going to spawn anything? Come on. Oh, it does. Okay. 3 wisps spawn. Congratulations. Oh, there was a delicate watch on stage 1. And on stage 2. That could be good for Zvicky. Right? The only racer who has the potential to have double watch. A 40% damage advantage over anyone who has none. Could be good. Immediately activates TP. Knows he has to move fast. 2 Blazing Wisps, though. And no armor. Right, no repulsion armor plate? No, Oh, there's an ATG suit that Goji goes for. That's the same suit that... An Ice Band? On Ruddy, right above the TP where the Newt spawns, just straight up randomly finds this Ice Band. Doesn't have Newt, though, so won't be able to get the ATG that Goji has. Okay. Who would you rather want to be right now? I mean, Goji's a tiny bit ahead in real time. Has a... Well, they both have watches. Personally, out of all 4 of these racers, I like Ruddy's loadout the most. Right, you've got a watch, you've got gasoline, which is pretty good for mid-late game crowd control if you're loader. You have like a 15-minute and you're on stage 5 setup. But an Ice Band, oh. I mean, Goji's gonna need some really good luck on the moon. Assuming that no other bands or items are found or picked up. Right, there is a double Void Seed. I doubt anyone's gonna clear that. I mean, 14 enemies. That's really gonna take a lot of time. And on a loadout like this, where every second counts, where we see people getting sub-20s and sub-25s on a regular basis with this loadout, right? Imp Overlord's the boss. Could see Shatter Spleen as the boss item, which wouldn't really do too much. What are our left side racers doing right now? They're still on wetland, just kind of chilling. Using the pylon, it's zapping whatever needs to get zapped. They're both finishing off the TP just about at the same time. Right, kind of having their own little race right now, while the other two on the right are having the Ice Band versus ATG round. Everyone's got the volcanic egg. Oh gee, that is a lot of wisps on Ruddy's screen, as Ruddy is taking so much damage, loses the watch, pops the gloop, wants the gloop value, but the Imp Overlord disappears, teleports. Another hit on Ruddy, and Ruddy is actually in trouble. I mean, should be in a safe situation, a safe enough of a spot, but just taking so many shots. I don't know, just one mistake is all it takes for a +5. And yeah, at least still have the Ice Band. But Will-O-Wisp is the boss item? Okay. Where was Ice Band? Look at where's Vicky standing. It's right behind him. And sadly, Vicky is $7 shy of getting an Ice Band. It will not get that. Will instead end up with the gasoline. As none of the racers except for Ruddy end up with Ice Band. Wow. And it's just so close. Just a spot that no one likes to go to. No one likes to check. But even then, again, I mean, it's Vicky trying to loot for another, what? You're at $87. You go up to $95. It's not really going to do much for it, yeah. Guess you can turn a little bit of that money into XP to get a med kit. Interesting. Ken's now with a band, has the triple opal. Activated the TP and is now fighting. Swings around, nice, very fancy. Does anyone... No, the ATG came from Soup. So if anyone hits a blue portal, they'll have a chance to get that. Vicky also on stage 3 now. Just with an assortment of mixed goods of questionable quality. Ooh, nice sticky bomb for Ken's there, by the way. That's good. Right, if any of the racers on the right here take one death, that could be all it takes for one of the racers on the left to catch up. This is a pretty decent loadout. One of the best in my opinion. The only thing I would prefer would to have the spiked fist over the grapple fist. Both are still fine. Oh, be careful. Oh, man. Goji going in for a punch on this void-touched Doomstrider. Not Doomstrider. Why do I always get the Clay names mixed up? Clay Templar takes like 6 shots from it. Does not get void-touched at all, thankfully. Right, Templar's only having a 0.05 proc coefficient. Would have to be pretty unlucky to have that happen. Ruddy, meanwhile, makes up for the lost watch, gets some pennies for stage 4, and has a full Australia moment as the stream starts teleporting a little bit. But it's going to be the first to stage 4. Okay, this is really starting to lag. But we'll be okay. Siren's Call, stage 4. Is there any... Ah, you can use the egg, right? Is egg skip a thing? I forget. Ruddy isn't thinking about skips or anything like that right now. He is instead focused on killing Magmaworms. There's the TP boss for stage 4. Could see Molten Perforator. Oh, 3 Glacial Larva spawn. Yeah, look out for those. I want those to be dead before you really continue fighting the boss here. Goji is scrapping. Is there a good soup or something? Oh, Goshi did the double void seed. We'll see if there's anything cool from that. A Polyloot and a Plasma Shrimp or something like that could easily make up this difference for not having the band. It's going to have Double Watch. That's good. Double Watch and ATG. Right, Ruddy needs to get double bonus points to be able to guarantee not being eliminated in this race. And there's an Ice Band for the Stage 4 TP. Okay. Needle Tick is one of the void items. Oh, if you're Goji, how do you heal right now? You've got no healing. You need something. Is there a Shrine of the Woods on Stage 3? They do spawn here. Ken's, by the way, with a little bit of a small, or I should more say condensed build right now. Has 2 watches. Is on Stage 4 as well. It's actually ahead of Goji. Right, doesn't have the ATG or some of the void items. Goji having to leave Stage 3, not having any healing. I think Vicky might be the only one that ends up getting more than just the needle tick. Oh, there's spare drone parts. Goji going for another blue portal. Just gets spare drone parts and loses 5 green items. Somehow manages to hold on to the ATG. Is going to be able to get the Ice Band on Stage 4. What a roll. Wow. You want loader cap? Maybe you should win your second loadout and get the tiebreaker. How about that? You do a lot of damage for egg, punches free skip. Oh, okay. So could just use the punch and get the free red item then. Yeah, that would do it. Can't believe I forgot about the punch. Oh man, I don't know how I feel about the Drone Man pickup. I guess you'd have to get empathy cores. If you found a gun here on Siren's Call, that could be good. I guess Goji's thinking Stage 4, Stage 5 could have cores. Obviously, we know the Stage 4 boss is Macworm. It drops Ice Band. Stage 5 is Grandparent. Okay, so there's going to have to be like some sort of reroll. Some sort of anything. Oh, there's another Ice Band. Yeah, Ruddy got it. 3 Ice Bands at this point. And don't even think about trying to go for awkward worship unit skips or anything like that. You can like 2-punch Mithrix. 3 Ice Band, gonna be in it up there at 20 minutes, has 1 watch. Goji's gonna have 2 Ice Band. That was a double Ice Band Tri-Shop. Oof. Goji in chat, I always spam blue portal on loader when there's no aqueduct. That's not a bad idea, right? You do move super fast as loader, right? It could always not pay off if you don't find anything good. And then, of course, it could also not pay off when, yeah, there's no aqueduct for free bands or anything like that, but then, right, you get an Ice Band from a Tri-Shop, and then you get an Ice Band from a TP, and then you're... Oh, there goes the ATG. Does not hit the Magma. Don't we just love ATG MK1s? They're so cool. That's another punch, though. That's a kill. That's another band. And Goji's gonna realize it's time to run. How's Ken's doing? Oh, Ken's is also killing the boss. I feel like I'm super focused on the right side, thinking that's gonna be the main race. Ken's is really in this, right? In terms of real time, 2 Ice Bands, right? Does it have the ATG? Does it have the spare drone parts? But aside from that, a very similar build, a lot safer of a build too, right? With 3 opals. Don't want to die with those though. Playing really aggressive with the egg. Oh jeez, I see people get really aggressive with the egg like that. I never like it. I think you want to be aggressive with the egg if you know for a fact you're not going to take huge chunks of damage, right? If you're going through jellyfish or wisps, you know, light things like that. But when you're going head to head with a volcanic egg up towards a Elder Lemurian or up towards a brass contraption, it's always going to end bad. Or maybe not always, but it can very easily. Vicky, meanwhile, I mean, I don't know if it's just lack of experience of playing this loadout. Vicky's playing this super duper slow, just doesn't want to end up with another DNF, right? If you can finish a loadout, maybe somehow get in third if someone else DNFs and messes up. Gonna end up getting third overall in the race. But really isn't playing this to win. Trying to has essentially, maybe I wouldn't say give up. I mean, everyone else can always throw, and then from your slow play style you can catch up and eventually get a win. We have seen that happen in the past. Just how much better this run's gonna get just from that Siren's Call alone. What is going on, Goji Screen? Okay, so Construct's dead. Is that a watch printer? Oh wow. I think this is my personal thought with these watches. I mean, Ruddy's super concerned. Just go all in. You one punch Mithrix phase 1. There is a recycler on stage 1 or stage 4. Oh, Zvicky lost a watch. Did not die though. Took a huge hit though. It's down to 145 health. This did happen to Ruddy as well. As Vicky's looking for that imp overward, trying to find it and just finish it off. Yeah, Ruddy got a 8 watches. As a royal capacitor, has a bad internet connection as well. Does not take the blue portal. Congratulations, you are better than Dan. So that was mean. I'm sorry, Dan. Ruddy is now almost as good as Dan. But it's just speedrun time. I mean, 3 ice bands, also found a fire band. Also, I mean, man, that's like 4 frames per minute. Get these on the slideshow. We're gonna see an instance of damage apply. We'll see. Does Ruddy use the lightning? Sometimes people lightning something to try and test to see how good the damage is. Maybe not today. And I think Ruddy's going to go for the... Yeah, okay. Take a look at Ruddy's screen. While Ken's is fighting his eye construct and Goji's just charging a TP and Vicky's finishing off a TP. No deaths from anyone yet. Congratulations, by the way. A huge lightning damage. There goes Ruddy with the host skip variant for loader. Something we've seen a lot more recently. I think with a pylon, though, I don't know if that's faster. It might be. I forget. I don't know that one that well. I like the value, when to do it, when not to. Gets into the fight, though. And we'll see the punch. That does half of Mithrix's health, almost. But, oh, look out for the slam. Oh, jeez. I mean, that's... Oh, gee. Great capacitor. Oh, my God. Almost gets hit by the Mithrix hammer. Thankfully, Mithrix is on Eclipse 7, and he's actually kind of easier than E6 Mithrix, right? No super deadly pursuits. Ruddy gets Mithrix finished off. It gets the little Chimera fight. Lightning's one of the Chimera. Does not kill it, though. Oh, no. For a run like this, you really wanted those to just instantly die. Now has to kind of play it slow and get a better advantage point. Try and play it from afar, get the punch in, land it right. You gotta really calculate this. You don't want to land in a bad spot. You don't want to miss your... Oh, doesn't get 2 hits with that one punch. It's an already almost dead Chimera. And it's just really having a sluggish phase 2. Goji says, please don't watch this pillar skip. I don't want to have any spoilers, so I actually am going to watch this pillar skip, thank you. As Goji is slowly climbing up, right? Not doing what Ruddy did. Doesn't have any energy drinks, doesn't have any mochas, or... Oh no. Oh, hopefully that grapple doesn't let go. uses the punch to try and hold on to the grapple. Ruddy is teleporting a few seconds into the present. It's another lag spike kicks in. Oh no. Oh, Goji. Oh, Goji. Goji falls down. Has to use the punch. Hopefully can grapple. Oh no. Oh no. For such a slow phase 2? Oh my god. We've all been there, alright? We see what Goji's going through. You can't tell me and look at me in the eyes. I mean, you can't look at me in the eyes anyway, your chat. I guess you can kind of look at my eyes. Goji almost messes up again. You cannot say that you've never, ever been in a situation like Goji is right now. Yeah, land that pylon. I dare you to try. There's a Scorpion for Zwicky, by the way. Zwicky, just playing it really slow, ended up getting one of those. And an ATG. Oh, I think Zwicky did a blue portal. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot less items. A lot less garbage greens. Lunar Chimera fight finally finished off for Ruddy, who thankfully did not lose watches, is winding up for a punch, lands the punch a little bit slow at the end there, sadly. It gets Mithrix below the 75% threshold. Mithrix is not going to go up, going to go back down. Ruddy's going to hold on to the lightning capacitor, going to try and land the capacitor. Look out for those exploders, though. You got to make sure you land the capacitor on Mithrix and takes a +5. That's a pause. That's a moment that you just have to really understand what just happened. Oh, no. Oh, no. Despite the help that Goji gave from the phase, from the pillar skip, from the extra time that Ruddy had to be able to charge, from the extra ban that Ruddy had that no one else had, extra 2 bans. I'm sorry. Look at that. Ruddy, who had maybe a chance. Oh, lightning's something in the background. Maybe that's a good thing. If you're Ruddy, you can just stand in the center, wait for Mithrix to get close, and punch in the center right when he's walking over and skip phase 4. Instead, opts to just have a mini punch. Again, trying to recollect some thoughts after taking that pizza +5. Lands the capacitor. There's the phase 4 skip. Maybe a time save over what could have been. I'm not sure. I mean, Goji's really going to have to mess this up to not make it through. And by make it through, I mean not just get in first place, because, I mean, there's a good chance that Goji doesn't get in first, right? Just takes one death. We saw that death happen to Ruddy. Standing, probably going to finish off at a 33-something. Oh, in terms of the tie-breaking stuff, poor Zwicky, by the way, took a death at stage 4 during that. It's going to be, like, huge throws required. Almost 3 right there. That was close. Going to have to lose the 4 watches and die, like, at least twice for us to see a potential tiebreaker. It's possible. I mean, if something like that were to happen, Ken's, who has 2 ice bands, has 6 watches, might be able to pull off some magic. You never know. And, oh, loses the watches. Or Goji does apply the gloop, does not get ATG from it. That's going to slow things down a bit. Goji, who's, I mean, just about secured first place for this loadout race. We see a 33.08 for Ruddy. So we can get that time up there. Time for first. Goes for a pizza punch. There we go. You see Ken's doing the host skip technique. I'm really bad at this one. The loader one there, look at the bottom right. Ken's just, boom. flawless. I can't do that. I'm with you on that one, Goji. I suck with loader host skipping and loader pillar skipping. Every single time I can't pull it off. Usually take like 40 seconds at minimum. Kens begins the fight. And with 3308. Has the capacitor, very similar setup to Ruddy. I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. Right, started a lot later. Maybe with a better phase 2 though. Yeah, Goji here, by the way. Having to do phase 4. Didn't have the ice bands. Didn't land like a knuckle boom or something over Mithrix for phase 4 skip. Takes a few shots, but it's going to be fine. Doesn't really have anything to proc at this point. Spare drone parts is back in. Mithrix is dead. No +5s for Goji. Unless Goji... Well, let's see. Goji is going to have to die 3 times? No. 40... Yes. Yes. We'll have to die 3 times in order for Ruddy to be able to tie and get set up for a round 3 tiebreaker round. Other than that, literally not possible. I'm pretty sure Goji's going to be able to finish us off. It's going to be a GG for Goji. Goji, who's currently the 5th seed. Able to take down seed number 2. Both Cap and Ruddy taken out this week, by the way. We'll see what happens for Zinc, the only other person with a perfect racing record so far here in the hosting league in week 4. We'll see if it can happen. And there it is. 3150 was the real-time finish. Bonus points are denied for Goji. 3122 gets in first place. All right, yeah. So we'll say time to complete is going to be 71:22. It's the time that the other 2 racers here have to be able to finish up. Go ahead and pull up their screens here. While that's happening, we can go ahead and hand out some points as Kens, down in the bottom left, is actually already on phase 3. Having a pretty quick run. Right? I mean, it's going to be a pretty good fight when you have 2 ice bands, you've got the ATG, you've got 6 watches, probably the best build out of anyone else. Right, there were spare drum parts for Goji, but that's not really doing a whole lot for you. Right? There was no empathy cores, there wasn't really any opportunity to buy drones. Oh geez. And those opals save right there and then. Eats a slice of pizza, but it doesn't matter, because when you have 3 opals that you print on stage 2, you have pizza insurance. Nice. Hanging on there. And only 15 curse too. Good stuff. It's Goji. Goji coming in with an extra 3 points. Ruddy confirmed to get an extra 2 points. Now standing at 4 total. But, I mean, Kens is already done with the fight here. And Kens, I mean, wasn't even that far up from Ruddy. From being able to beat Ruddy, from being able to beat Goji. Was actually holding pretty well this whole time. Maybe played, I would say, played stage 3 a little slow. Right? Wasn't landing, like, the perfect shots or had the perfect pathing for picking up items. Missed that one ice band, but did end up getting an ATG. Did end up getting those ice bands, and boom, there we go. Kansas is going to be able to finish up barely behind them. Well done. Maybe not the most cinematic escape. We could still use the pylon. Oh, there we go. Should be able to make it to the ship. And there we go. Kansas is going to finish up what appears to be a sub 36 run, which would have actually been enough to deny bonus points from Goji as well. Yeah, just really good stuff. Why is the chat element not showing up right now? What's going on? That's weird. Don't know why it's not showing up. Try to refresh it. There we go. I think with that, gonna be able to come in at a 35-22-ish. 35-21. Only go like 2 minutes, a little less than 2 minutes slower, or a little more than 2 minutes slower than Ruddy in second place. And wow, well done, Kens. We'll go ahead and move this over to Vicky here. We could still finish up, right? Just not having a very good week, not having a very good race here today. Took a death, maybe not the most comfortable with loader, and already had the DNF on Rex. Just really looking for some magic here. Hand out that point to Ken's here. There you go. Not 1 point. It's not proper. There we go. Again, even with that, right? We've seen some loader loadouts where people end up having to concede, end up doing pretty poorly. Vicky's not doing bad, right? Still has half an hour. Still has 6 deaths that can be taken. Has a Scorpion, which maybe can't get the most value from that Scorpion. Maybe we'll see some like knuckle booms when Mithrix first lands, or I don't know. Find something. There's another debuff. Is there any? I mean, how many debuffs do I see? Ice is 1, gas is 1, but not really possible. Mithrix fight? Yeah, probably not a death mark setup at all. I don't know why my brain went there. It does have a backup mag though. It's a nice find. Good pickup. Having 1 backup mag is nice on loader. You get a lot more control. And 4 fire damage. I don't know how the sun like instantly vanished like that. Had 4 sun damage and it just kind of poofed. The stream kind of goes at slow-mo and speeds up a lot. Oh. Come on now. We believe in you, Vicky. Come back to us. There he is. Oh, back in action. He's the, is that a pauldron as the boss item? Yeah. Gets the pauldron. Oh, there was an ATG in a tri-shop on this stage. I guess that's where the other one came from. Oh, no, it didn't. Pretty sure, if I read it correctly, I saw on Vicky's chat, multi-shop, tri-shop, ATG Missile 1. Freeze frame, screen cap, detours. Get one of these in here. Oh. This stream is frozen. Come on, cheese, where are you at? Where are you at, Cheese? Cheese is falling asleep, man. One of these racers can just, like, open up debug toolkit, just give underscore item ATG 5,000. Wouldn't even bat an eye. Alright. I'm sorry. We love Cheese. Cheese does this for free, right? Gotta keep that in mind with our refs. They're volunteering their own time so that we can enjoy Gauntlet Loadout Races. Like, if it wasn't for Cheese here, I would only be able to do, like, the YouTube content, or I would have to, like, watch the content having already watched it, right? So I'd have to, like, pretend like I didn't see it, and that'd be cringe. Or I'd have to do it live. Oh, man. Could you imagine watching one of these live? There's a reason why we do this recorded. If you thought it's bad enough with, like, all the times that I have to zoom ahead, coordinating between 28 different racers, 28 different setup scenarios and all that, every single week, 7 different races, so many technical difficulties happen. As the stream dies again. How would you rate that slide? 0 to 10. Oop. Guess we can't rate it anymore. We'll get the next one, though. This one, I'd only give it like a 3 of 10. You can't really see too much. It's a nice cliffside, you know, some nice nature on the ground, but not a whole lot else. This Vicky gets an ATG missile launcher. Or ATG missile MK1 is all it's called. Back up to real time. There's a slug. That's some healing. Is that the only healing item? No, this Bungus, I guess. Technically. Double medkit as well. It's a regen scrap. Has 2 of those now. And a fireband. There it is. Right next to TP. A couple other racers found that one. There's an armor piercing round. No, it's Vicky. Go back for the APR round. Oh, it wants to go into watches first. And then we'll pick it up. Okay, that's smart. Here we go. Loses fireworks. Yeah, armor piercing round. SMH my head. Armor piercing Rolex. Armor penetrating no, Sveiki's just straight up gonna forget the armor piercing round. That is a forgotten item. You're not getting it. Oh no. Just left it on the ground. No! One singular piercing round. You only get one. There we go. Good hallway. There we go. I'd give that an 8 out of 10 right there. Oh. Yeah, it's still 8 out of 10. Way better than I ever do. We'll see as Vicky tries to do the funny host loader skip. Oh. Things slowly, randomly are speeding up and slowing down. As we zoom ahead, we're going up. I never realized, but the arena that leads up to Mithrix, the tree, looks like a hand, right? There's the 5 branches, and it's like the one is further away from the others, like the palm. I never noticed that until now. And I've played this game for 4,000 hours. That's at least a little bit embarrassing, right? I hope someone else hasn't noticed it. I can't be the only one, right? Ooh, Mithrix launching up. There we go. No fall damage, unfortunately. No punch there. Unfortunately, wastes the bands. How much time does Vicky have? I see 22 minutes left. really taking a lot of time, right? Has only died once. We know that some of the racers, ended up finishing at 31 minutes. Ruddy had the fastest real time of about 28 minutes. But it's starting to go down. If you're not careful here. Petition to add Nux's Lemurian tree to the host races? No. We've already gotten to week 4. If we're gonna add anything funny or fancy, like, I want to make sure if I ever do a league that has modifications, I want the racers to know what they're signing up for. Right? Which I might do that at some point. But right now, I mean, we're still only halfway through this league. Not even halfway through, right? I think that'll be on Wednesday. Or next Monday, we'll finally make it to the halfway point of the hosting league. Which I hope, by the way, while things are kind of slow here as we're watching Zwicky do this run. Getting hit a lot. Oh, come on. Land the glue. You already lost the watches? Aww. Missed opportunity. Just stay low on health. Boom. There you go. Take like one exploder orb. You might have lost your watches, yes. There's only a... He's not like 8, is he? Oh no. Oh no. Just take a couple shots, get another gloop going in the center. Oh no! Takes a full-on death from an orb. Got too close to some wisps that already took some damage, already took some hits. Just really unfortunate. Now at 56 minutes. Things, I mean, aren't as comfy as they once were. Watches are down. You still got half of phase 3 to go. You're taking a lot of damage. You've only got 15 minutes. Can really only afford about 2 more deaths. And oh no, just takes another hit. Zwicky, you got a place. At least get the 4th place finish. You don't want to have to DNF loader. For such a good build-up, you just really got to focus in right now, right? And you would see the tilt slowly building up. So many moves that used to be more smooth for Zwicky. Right? You can really just see them being rushed in the process. All Zwicky can be thinking of is, oh no, I have 5 deaths, I've been playing slow. Am I going to get pulled out? Oh wait, not 5 deaths, only 3. Right? What if someone had a 21-minute loader run? It's over for me. Right? And so many of those thoughts are just really taxing, really carrying a huge burden on Zwicky's mental state as phase 3 begins. Right, so much less damage having lost those watches. Does get a good ATG proc though. Man, that's a good punch. And no missile. Yeah, want to get some missiles. If you can get a couple missiles in there with, what was it, 2 ATGs, can speed this fight up a lot more. If you slap Mithrix without your bands active, and then hit him, that's even better. Well, assuming the ATG actually hits him, and not just some random exploder or throws itself on the floor. Oh no, Zwicky's getting super far away, getting launched all the way across. It's gonna have to really anticipate these pizza slices, really calculate them out in advance. Starts moving in, gets hit by so many exploders. Again, Zwicky can only really afford about 1 death. And even that's cutting it. It still has half of Mithrix to go for phase 3. It still needs to get all of phase 4 done. Blocks a shot from Teddy Bear. ATG came out. It lands. Nice. Here's Gloop. Hides behind a rock during the Gloop, unfortunately. Oh, jeez. That was close. Anticipated. Playing him smart, playing him good. Mithrix dashes out of the way, though. And, oh, this is death. It's death. It's not death, but now it is. Now cannot afford to die any more and has to play really fast. Has to get a little lucky, even. Otherwise, a run that was looking not too bad, still at half an hour to go. once the others finished up. Suddenly, I mean, you've got 2 minutes to get through 2 phases. You have a fire ban. Potentially can get phase 4 skip, but it's going to be close. Oh, man. I don't think it's going to happen. Right, I mean, 2 minutes. Maybe if there's a lucky ATG. An ATG band proc into a phase 4 skip. Oh, I don't know. I mean, definitely doesn't help that. Oh, jeez. Definitely doesn't help that that lightning hit an exploder. It's down to about 1 minute, minute and a half. Here we go. ATG? No, there's no ATG. Mithrix is so close to dying now. Just turn around. Oh, you cannot afford to die from this. As Vicky phase 4 skips, he wins. Or not wins, but gets 4th. Does not end up DNFing. You never want to DNF. Alright, just kind of holding on to the punch. There's an ATG that comes out from the pylon. Mithrix is going to go back in the center of the arena now. You got to get ready. You got to be able to have a good angle. Punches Mithrix. Lands a lightning. No bans active. And no, hold up. What are you doing? Jeez. 31-22 plus 40 is 71. This can't be a concede. Okay, realizes it. And cancels the timeout. And out comes a gloop. No fire. Nope, no phase 4. Skip. I mean, misses the punch. Will only has the time until that capacitor finishes off to be able to kill Mithrix. There might be a little bit of a grace period given. We'll see. It's up to Cheese here. There is a 20-second grace period for load times. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think this is a DNF. Gets the ice ban. Nah, that's too late. That's going to have to be a DNF. I mean, it's finished. And yes, he did kill before Cheese called the timeout. But, I mean, unfortunately, I want to try and keep things not to, like, you know, someone doesn't look and suddenly someone does get a DNF or does not get a DNF when someone else would. We'll speed ahead to the end of the ship charge. We'll see if it's 40 minutes over. Okay, pauses, zooms. 72:55. Yeah. Sadly, that's 40 minutes over. And, well, it's gotta keep it to the standard. Better luck next time, Vicky. It was a good attempt. GG. And as for the racer as a whole, right? Goji coming in first with 8 points. Ruddy down with 4. Oh, don't tell me. I mean, Cap also got second place both times. If Ruddy and Cap are like at neck and neck. Yeah, Ruddy with the 1 death. Oh, there's no way. No, I think Cap had a few more deaths. I forget. Yeah. We'll see. Remember that Ruddy was playing Rex. Alright. I'll have to look into it. But GG, Goji gets in first. Ruddy second. Kennan's in third, and, well, Vicky in fourth.